We are previewing College Football Week 3 here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Doug Upstone from sports-watch.com. And Doug, another game that you wanted to discuss was Florida at Tennessee. Now, this is a huge game. It's one of the marquee games on the card this Saturday. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to it, and it's probably going to be very, very heavily bet because it has a competitive line. So anyone who thinks they have an edge here is probably going to bet it. It's Tennessee at home -3, and I'm one of those people. I admit that I bet this fairly heavily on the opening line. I took Tennessee -2.5. You know, Tennessee has really proved themselves this year in my eyes. They had a great win over North Carolina State. They've got an awesome passing game that's just, doing great with a bunch of great receivers. And Florida, of course they're Florida, so they've got a ton of talent. But, they gave up a bunch of sacks their last game. They've had some drop passes issues in the first 2 weeks. And I'm just thinking that overall, Tennessee -3, I think that's worth a shot. What do you think?
I'm 100% on board with you on this one, Peter. Tennessee's, their profile certainly is rising now into the top 25 for the first time in a few years. And of course, the game's going to be on ESPN game day and they're going to be in Knoxville for the first time since 2004. Now, their quarterback, Taylor Bray, was known as a pretty arrogant sort, but he seems to have matured quite a bit, and he has some real playmakers around him, like Cordarrelle Patterson and Justin Hunter. So that they can be pretty darn explosive. And then Coach Derek Dooley really has what is his best team at Tennessee. The recruiting efforts that he's put forth, even though nobody was really giving any credit, are starting to look pretty good. And I think they'll have an excellent chance of bottling up the Florida offense. Now, the Gators last week, they took some hellacious shots getting punched in the mouth. And actually, they'll have 3 defensive players that will not play this week, which I think will impact them overall. Their offense is pretty good, but not that great because the run first and the playmakers, there's no comparison between what Tennessee has and what Florida has. And as you mentioned, their quarterback, Jeff Driscoll, was sacked a whopping 8 times last week. Now, Florida, even with their cover last week at Texas A&M, is just 6-15 against the number on the SEC road. Now, when you break this game down further, motivation certainly is in the favor of Tennessee, who has lost 8 straight with just 2 covers against Florida. Now, the team with the checkerboard end zones has the edge in motivation, the better quarterback, and more playmakers to win this game. And let's not lose sight of one other fact. The Gators have been chopped with an 0-7 ATS record as an underdog in their last 7 outings, losing by 18.6 points per game. Let's take Tennessee by 2 touchdowns over Florida.
Nice. Awesome, Doug, and I definitely agree. Thanks.